So I decided to do today's show on the road. Woo! I'm in Joshua Tree with Meatloaf. And we just went to go visit a friend who is here from Iowa because, I'm actually going to go live with them for a little while. In the summertime, they have a little house out there and it doesn't have electricity or power. And I've always kind of wanted to try to do that. I thought it would be really fun. Even though people think that sounds really crazy, like why would you want to go live kind of without any of your basic necessities in life and the comforts that we have? But I have this fascination with these little cabins that I always see just abandoned, and I've always wanted to go live in one. So here's my opportunity. So anyways, I had never met her daughter before, who's now 6. And so I thought that was kind of interesting that I just spent the last few days with a mother-daughter, and then, doing the show, obviously talking about my relationship with my mom. And I just think that I think being a parent is probably really hard. And I think people just try to do their best, and they try to not affect the kids in a way that they might grow up to have like abandonment issues like I do or other things. So anyways, and also during this trip, I had a friend reach out to me talking about the afterlife. I think when people pass away, sometimes people find it really challenging to feel connected to that person. I think it's like the end of something. And I've expressed it before that, like, for me, I feel like my mom is still with me. Like, I feel like when I think about her or I'm just somewhere, I just feel she's like constantly there, which is an interesting thing. And I don't think it can always be understood by others. Like, I think maybe it's just my belief system or something like that that allows me to go there. But I have little like signs that kind of solidify that for me, or maybe I look for them, or maybe I just create something, but each to their own. And for me, I feel like it's a for sure thing that tells me that she's there. So I thought I would share a few of those stories today. Some of them are kind of funny. So I'm going to start with the funny one. Okay, so after my mom passed away, we had spent the night before in the hospital. We went to the gift store because my mom just got paid from the government. And, we were like, well, we should go down to the gift store and, like, it's your last night, like, maybe get some food or snacks or something that you like. So we went down there. And I found this crystal that I really wanted, but it was really expensive, and like I wasn't willing to buy it. So it was like $70. After I did my mom's memorial, which was like taking her little car out, we call it the car. It was her electric wheelchair, and it was a really significant thing between she and I because we would drive it around a lot. And so before she died, I asked her, I had this like idea of what to do for her memorial. People wouldn't have gone to like a chapel. My grandparents weren't going to come over for it. And she still wanted to be honored. I mean, I think we all would have. But everybody has their own belief systems, and my grandparents are Buddhist, and I don't think that they think of it the same way. And then my grandma was too sick to travel as well. So anyways, I was like, well, maybe I could take her car and like drive it around the neighborhood and like decorate it and kind of just give, like, it would be a parade almost with all the people that loved her and like wanted to show up and kind of honor her life. So anyways, we did that. And at the end of it, I was like leaving that area, and it's like a really rough area. And I looked down and I found $120 on the ground, and I just snapped that up really fast. And I knew right then that my mom wanted me to go get that crystal. And that's just the way that I choose to be in this world. Like, I'm not going to question those things. Like, yes, I could have been like, oh, that was just money I found on the ground, and like, It was just money and just left it. But I knew that like I just did that. My mom's life just ended the day before. She knew I really wanted that crystal. She knew I wasn't going to buy it myself. She wanted me to have that money. And anyone could have got that money. Anyone could have picked it up. But I picked it up and I knew that she wanted me to have that crystal. So I went back to the gift store, and it was kind of funny because the night before we like went in there, I like pushed her in the wheelchair, and she announces to the women in the store, "We got money!" So of course that was just like her personality, and we only ended up buying like 2 bags of chips and a chocolate bar or something like that. So we really didn't spend much money. But I wanted the women to know that like I came back and I bought that crystal, and then it was like my mom and I had spent the money there. But I tried to explain that to the women. They were new women. I was like, yeah, we came in last night and they weren't having it. So anyways, I'm leaving the gift store, and this is where my mom plays a little joke on me. And I actually get lost in the hospital, and then I have a phone call. I'm supposed to talk like the morgue. She's going to get cremated, and I had to like discuss some of those details. So I just found like some hallway, and I sit down, and I think I had to write something down, and I look, and on my jacket is dangling a pen, and I had like magnetic straps on my jacket, and this pen had stuck to it. I'd had that jacket for like quite a few years, and I have never ever had that happen. So my mom, when I was younger, she and I went to a store together, and she stole. I was an adult, she was an adult. She told me after, she's like, yeah, Tara, I stole some stuff. I don't even know how she said it, but I was like, Mom, like you can't do that. Like now I'm like part of like an illegal act. Hey. So I was like, Mom, like, please do not steal in front of me, or like, don't steal when you're with me. So I know that this like jacket thing where my pen was like hanging off of it, my mom made me steal. And I think that she thought that would be really funny. And so I did look at it, and I was like, oh, I can't believe you just did that. So anyways, of course, who I am, I like went and I took the pen back to the store, and I returned it, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just must have taken this. So anyways, for those just joining, I'm just like talking about like situations that happened since my mom passed, that kind of re-solidify the fact that I feel there is an afterlife. At least I feel her presence. I feel like she does things to kind of let me know that she's there. That story was her making me steal. The other story was like money was found on the ground that was like I felt was a definite tell sign that I was supposed to go get this crystal. Mother's Day, I had a dog that kind of stopped in my way. I'd seen many dogs that day, and of course the name of the dog was Millie. And Millie is my nickname for my mom, and I knew for sure that was my mom saying that she was there. And the most special one is right after she passed. She and I used to always talk about like what will she do to let me know that she's there? Like, how is she going to come back? And so my mom has this really interesting sense of humor, and she's like, I'll talk to you through the plants. And I'm like, Mom, please don't do that. I was like, I'm already weird enough. Like, like if I start talking to plants and being like, I think my mom just talked to me, like, that's it. I'm going to be like in a loony bin. So we really didn't figure out like what she was going to do. And after she passed that night, I woke up with lyrics in my head. And I didn't really know the song, but I had known that you can find lyrics and you can kind of just like Google them and you can find the song. So I just remembered these few lyrics, woke up, went straight on and Googled it. And I found this song, and every word in this song was like her telling me how she was. It told me that how her life was before she died, told me how lonely she was, what her life felt like. And it's, who does that song? Okay, I'll have to think about that and come back. Dermot Kennedy. It's a Dermot Kennedy song, and it's been remade a couple times. And in this song, it talks about her like shedding this skin, this suit, and like going into the ocean, and that it's like into the unknown. And that, I believe, is very symbolic to like her like releasing her life, and like obviously she doesn't know what it's going to be like. And then it says in the song to something about like that I need to like love myself to be here now. And I think that was really important for her message to me, was like, don't hold on, don't be sad, like just be happy, like be here. And then at the end is like, I don't think I've ever found a song that does this, but my mom loved the ocean, and it was like 3 minutes long of just the ocean, like sounds of the ocean. So I 100% believe like when you have a special connection, like they'll come and they'll show you. So I don't feel her absence like so much, like, because I have these special things. And I also know that like right after she passed and I started having those experiences, hey, I didn't want to hold on to her. Like I didn't want to be looking for signs or messages all the time, because I felt like that would just take me out of this life, and I didn't want to feel like that. So I never know when they're going to happen, and they happen so randomly. And actually this ring, so on her 1 year of her passing, I came to Joshua Tree, actually, which is where I'm sitting right now. I came here for the weekend. It's a very special place to me. I've always loved it. And so anyways, on her 1 year, a friend of mine has a jewelry store here, and I've always wanted a piece of her jewelry. And I decided I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to gift myself something. So after my mom passed, I got that money and I bought the crystal. The crystal is this one. It's called black tourmaline. And so I went into my friend's jewelry store. My friend wasn't there, but the first ring I looked at was this ring, and I just knew that I needed to have it. I looked at other ones, and I still kept going back to that one. And then I looked at the price, and it had been like kind of scratched off and lowered. And it was at a price range that I was like almost comfortable with. If it would have been any more, I wouldn't have bought it. And then my friend gave me like an additional discount. So I got this ring, which is black tourmaline, and it makes me really happy because the one that I have that I got after my mom passed is like a big chunk. And this one I get to have with me all the time, and it protects me. It keeps the negative energy out. And then, the night that I arrived, my friend saw me wearing this. So the night that I arrived to Joshua Tree this weekend, she got me this one. She's like, I know what to get you, because I gifted her a bunch of like art stuff because she loves creating, and I'm moving. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna like get rid of these things to people that I know will really appreciate it. So anyways, now I'm all blinged out with the black tourmaline. So anyways, I don't know. The girl was asking me this weekend, this girl that I've been speaking with, just about the afterlife. She lost somebody she really loved, and she just asked me about dreams and if I believe that, you know, the deceased can come to your dreams. And I think that like whatever you believe is your belief. So just keep believing that. If it makes you happy, if it gives you some peace in your heart, like that's what it's there for. Hey, I just told, so Leela just joined. She's the one I just said about this black tourmaline and how you just gave it to me, and how this was my other piece of black tourmaline that came from Sheila B. And they're both from Joshua Tree now. And this is super significant, this stone, to my mom and I. We found out like in the end of our relationship towards the end that we both really loved crystals. And there was so much that I didn't know about my mom. And I feel so blessed that I was able to get to know her, to just ask all those questions. And, you know, and so we do little witchy things. Like I'd actually bring her crystals all the time. I always joked because I'd live in Bali, and I'd come back and be like, Mom, you got to try this. You got to do this. You got to do this. And I'd always come with these like crazy ideas of like how to make her life better. But then I found out that she actually always did that stuff. So I don't know. It's pretty cool to see when you are a lot like your parents. And even though I wasn't like raised by her a lot, I still became a lot like her, which thankfully I'm happy because I like my mom. So I'm going to keep this somewhat short today. And I just think I'm very grateful for the moments that I get to have her pop in, and for all the mothers out there doing their work. Keep doing it. I think you're doing an amazing job. And one day your daughters will hopefully look back and have funny stories to share as well. So bye, guys.